Welcome to WagerTalk TV. I am Kelly Stewart, joined by Marco D'Angelo. Last week, we did kind of a series of Vegas lifestyle videos. We talked about blackjack and video poker. We got really great reviews from you guys. So this week, I have Mr. Poker himself. I've been trying to think of really good nicknames for Marco all day, and it's terrible. That was really cheesy. Sorry, Marco. Let's talk about poker. Lots of different poker tournaments around here in Vegas you can play in WSOP during the summertime. I know Prez comes out and sits here basically for like 3 weeks, it seems like.
Oh, yeah.
And you guys, that's something you guys both really enjoy doing, but you play poker, a few times a week here in town.
I do. For the poker, we're going to give my favorite poker rooms, but I have two lists, Kelly, because it's different between playing cash games and playing tournaments. It's a different scenario.
So I'm going to backtrack just for anybody that's new. We are playing Texas Hold'em. No limit.
No limit.
Okay. And so you can walk into, let's start with the tournament. So you walk in and you say, hey, I want to sign up for this tournament. It's X number of dollars. Here's my money. And you sit down in a big room.
That's all you can lose is what your entry fee is. And you don't have to beat everybody to cash. Generally, a poker tournament, you have to beat 90% of the field. 10% gets paid in a poker tournament. Obviously, the deeper you go, the more you make. But this is a spot where if you're new, I would really suggest playing tournaments because your loss is going to be fixed. Whatever that entry fee is, that's the most you can lose. Where if you play in a cash game, yeah, you can buy in, but if you go broke right away, the temptation is to dig in your pocket and grab more and more.
Listen, that's at any table game, I think, in Vegas, right? Like if you go on a run and then you give it all back, you're going to the ATM. So you're saying, is your preference tournament games though?
Well, if I was like Prez and I had all the time in the world, that's what he plays, I would play tournaments.
But some of these tournaments can be 10 hours long. I've had buddies.
That's the problem with actually working is you don't have time for that. So mostly I play cash games. When I get a day off or something, I will play the bigger tournaments. But for tournaments around town, other than obviously the World Series of Poker that's at the Rio, which is here for a 6 to 7 week period from late May to the beginning of July.
And now these are casinos that have daily tournaments?
Yes.
Okay.
These are tournaments. The best for daily tournaments here in Vegas, I rank the Venetian #1.
Really?
Venetian, they have the deep stack tournament series all the time. Used to start out, it was once a year, then it became twice a year, and now they have it almost quarterly. It seems like every other month they have one, but their structures are good. You get a lot of chips and you get more time before the blind levels go up. So I recommend the Venetian. Second is Aria. They have daily tournaments. If you're looking for just daily tournaments and you want a cheap buy-in but a chance to make $4,000 or $5,000 if you win it, go there. They have a daily tournament for $140, and then the win would be third for tournaments. Cash games, my favorite place to play, and it's probably...
I'm going to stop you right there real quick, because this list is expensive places. I've been told by some insiders, like, if you're playing in a cash game, go to some of these less than nice casinos, because the dads from Kansas are sitting there, and they may win on their buddies' money on the weekend, but they're not big fish, and you're not playing for a ton of money.
There's a lot of play, and I'll give a couple tips at the end of the season. There's certain times of the year that are very good, and I'll give a tip for that.
Okay.
But for the best cash games, the most famous room here in Vegas right now is the Bellagio.
Right, but if I walk into the Bellagio, I'm going to get eaten alive.
You probably will, because there's a lot of regulars that play there, and they're looking for the fish, but the Bellagio does attract a lot of tourists, and Bellagio is more of a high-end casino.
Yeah, and it's a beautiful poker room.
So they have people that are playing there that have deep pockets. So I want those rich guys coming in with the deep pockets. But the problem is, when you sit down at a table, there might be only 2 or 3 tourists at the table, and you're sitting there with 7 locals, and we're all there trying to slice and dice the same tourists. So you got to be careful with that. But the Bellagio is, I would say, the #1 room. Aria is second, and it's closing in fast on the Bellagio. A lot of the big games, Bobby's room is where they have the real big games.
Right.
At Bellagio. It used to be called Ivy's Room. They just changed it, and it's very good there. A lot of good cash games, but I feel that the toughest room is the Aria, because more of the local grinders are playing there.
I mean, I used to work at the Bellagio and at the Aria back in the day, and I've been able to walk by and be like, wow, that guy is, I've seen that guy on TV, I've seen that guy on TV. So definitely kind of buyer beware in some of those scenarios.
But if you're an average Joe, you're not going to be playing in those games that they are.
Very true.
With the banquet. Then Wynn probably is the most beautiful poker room in Las Vegas. It is elegant.
They just redid it, right?
Yeah, they did that. It's only probably 2 years old now. Wynn is a great atmosphere. Go there. The Venetian fourth for cash games, and then I put Caesars in. And we want to talk about where you might get a little bit of a younger crowd and a lot of partiers. Caesars still has the mystique on the Strip. You know, people want to play at Caesars and stuff. And this is the bonus with Caesars. If you want to play any night at Caesars, Friday night is the best night to play at Caesars because the poker room is right next to the sports book, which the sports book is right next to the nightclub. Omnia. And Friday night is the night for Omnia because Kelvin Harris is the DJ. And all you girls, crave over Kelvin Harris. And let me tell you that the A-list of women go to Omnia on Friday night. And they line them up right around the entire poker room, the line is long. You know how the nightclub lines are. And you see a bevy parade of the little black dresses and high heels, and they are all 8.5s and higher.
Wow.
Yeah. So if you want a little
eye candy
you want a little eye candy while you're playing poker. So that's it. Now, last tip for you: there's a few times a year that you want to hit some of those off-strip places because of events in town. Anytime there's something going on at T-Mobile. MGM Poker Room gets a lot of action because they're right there at the center of T-Mobile. It's the only poker room that's right there on that corner because there's no poker at New York, and there's no poker at Park MGM. So MGM gets all of the poker, and you get a lot of guys that have partied at a hockey game or whatever, tourists that have come in. So that's a good spot. It's also a great spot during rodeo week. Rodeo time is a great time to play poker in Vegas because you've got all the cowboys coming to see the rodeo. And if you've seen the ticket prices for the rodeo and everything when they come in here,
it's not cheap.
And you've seen some of the country places. I know you like to partake in country. There's a lot of money in town during that 11-day stretch of rodeo, and they spend their money and they go play poker. It's a good time. South Point, believe it or not, during rodeo is a good place to play.
You can't even sit down at a table game during the rodeo at South Point. I mean, it's absolutely
because
packed.
They have a lot of people staying there. They're one of the.
Got to park your truck and your horses and your trailers.
But I hope that helps with the poker listings, and we're going to continue to do these, Kelly. All these lifestyle stuff. We're going to be talking steakhouses, best places for pizza in Vegas, best happy hours, all of those.
Does that mean you're going to take me out to dinner so I can try these places before you assess them? All right, great stuff from Marco. Guys, if you have an idea for a video, feel free to comment below, but also make sure to like, share our videos, and don't forget to follow us on Twitter @WagerTalk.